Hello, everyone. So I'm really happy to be on here with you guys. I wanted to drop in and share with you the latest energy update because I've been receiving a lot of messages that are associated to a particular topic. And I thought that instead of recording a video and uploading it, I would just come on live and share this information with you guys. So, welcome, everyone. So, all right. And I'll look at the screen sometimes, but I just want to I'm going to stay on a continuous flow just so I make sure I get the information out there. So, about 2.5 days ago, what I was shown is that we received an influx of very high vibrating galactic light codes, which then created a uprising of it sort of created this uprising of emotional very strong emotions within our bodies that were being risen up to the top, that started floating up to the surface. All right. So, some of the symptoms that you might have been feeling were intense sexual energy, a feeling of arousal, a feeling of maybe someone that you know or have a connection with or chemistry with popping into your mind a lot. And this happened to me too. And there was a particular person I was thinking about that I know is not the one for me. All right. I'm really clear on that. But they kept popping into my mind. And it was a little difficult to control because, as you guys know, that energy can be a little uncontrollable, especially when it gets stuck in the lower chakra region. So, your first and second chakra predominantly are responsible for governing your sexual energy. And when the energy gets caught there, it can be really difficult to move it up, to spiral it upward into the higher chakras. I liken it to being I think it has its own distinctive quality to it. I don't see it as being similar as the prana or the life force that you generate to send yourself into a trance. Sexual energy is I feel, has its own distinct texture almost or quality to it. And when it rolls over you, it's like an avalanche of energies that are almost uncontrollable. And then you're like, and you're trying to breathe, you know? Anyways, so I like to tell stories. So this one person kept popping into my mind. And I came this close to texting them, this close, you guys. And my guide said to me, and tonight we have an assembly of guides. We have Merlin with us, we have the Nine, we have Angel Raphael. So, anyways, my guide said to me, Phil, please do not take the bait because our brain, most of us operate within our five senses, but we have senses beyond that. And my brain associated what I was feeling to this person, but I've been through this enough, not only with sexual energy, but with energy as a whole, that I can usually identify it when it's not something that would behoove me, that would be for my highest good. So my guides stopped me. They had me pump the brakes and they said, Phil, don't take the bait because all it is that you're receiving an upgrade. Your DNA hardware, your physicality, your energetic system is receiving an upgrade. And because right now in this moment, you're stuck in your lower chakras, you're operating within your five senses and you're automatically tethering that energy to that person. So it was difficult to shake off. Again, this energy was a little unshakable, but I didn't act on it. I didn't self-pleasure. I know that's a little explicit, but I didn't self-pleasure. I'm really good at harnessing my life force. And most of the time, I don't even feel sexual, to be honest, you guys. But I learn how to harness my life force when it does happen because I've received upgrades like this before. So, so then I said to my universe, I said, universe, and this was for 2 consecutive days. I said, universe, I need a confirmation from you that by harnessing my life force and not acting upon it, that there is indeed something that is coming in. I haven't seen this person in over a year, mind you. So yesterday I go out to the coffee shop, and guess who I see across the street? This very person that's been on my radar. This very person. And in that moment, the universe said to me, see, Phil, now you don't even feel sexual. And this is your confirmation that you did the right thing by not acting on it. So then I said, well, I know that you guys usually teach me, and it's kind of like the micro to the macro of what's going on a collective scale. So what message do you have for people? And what they said was, they showed me actually a blip. You know, when you have like a little blip on a map, when you, I don't know, type something into your Google Maps and you find your location and it shows up as a blip. They showed me that this inpouring of energies that we're receiving at the moment is allowing us to increase our magnetic resonance. And as that magnetic resonance increases, the blip on the map becomes highly detectable. Ding, 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 ding. And because we're all interconnected, all of us, we're all one, right? We're all interconnected via the subliminal field of resonance, meaning via our subconscious. Thoughts are always being sent out. So there are probably a million thought forms in your field right now, and they're all thoughts that originate or stem from other people's thoughts. So we're like this gigantic network of thought forms. We generate thoughts. Thoughts existed before us. So there are millions of thoughts, billions of thoughts that are always, you could say, rotating within the field or orbiting around you or coming into you. There are all these thoughts. So they showed me that as we augment our magnetic resonance, the little blip on the map that you are is going to send out a stronger signal. A stronger signal. And for what? Well, because the lover that you have yet to meet is going to be able to detect something, even though they're not aware of it. They might have something pull them out of their house and be like, hey, go to the grocery store right now. And then before you know it, you guys meet. So they did show me that this is about love. It's about love. And again, you guys know I teach, I'm all about the love is from within, but I also like to include the external because God doesn't only live within us. God exists outside of us in everything. God is in inanimate object. God is everywhere. So in an older energy, I would say if you're afraid of heights, really, we need to do some psychotherapy. We need to go into your field and figure out what's there that needs to be plucked out. In this new energy, I would just say to you, go bungee jump. Because by doing that, it's automatically going to delete a file within you that is keeping you anchored in fear. So that's what I mean by God is in everything. Everything around us is here to support us through our ascension process. It's here to facilitate your healing, your clearing, your deprogramming, to facilitate your elevation into 5D or your upliftment into 5D. So what I got was that because I didn't act on it, my signal was stronger. And now keep in mind, I'm not looking for love. I'm very content with my life. Like I feel very content. I feel very full. But most of what I channel, most of the messages I receive are for myself, but also the collective. That's kind of how I receive messages a lot of the times. So it gets a little more interesting. Now we're going to get a little more quantum for a minute. And, I'm of the belief that there's never any shame or any guilt if you act on it. So had I texted this person, I would never be judged for that. I would never be condemned for that. I would never be punished for that. So I want to be that very clear when I say this. However, they said that these energies right now this week, it's important that we don't act on those urges for whatever reason. That's what they said to me. If you do, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Let yourself off the hook. But they said it's important that we don't act on these urges right now. So if it's itching, don't scratch it. Okay? If you feel like your lower chakra system is sexually oriented, to the best of your ability, try to move that energy into your heart. And you'll find great power when you do this. So I went out and I meditated and I was able to bring the energy up into my third eye and work with it. And then by the time I bumped into this person, I wasn't feeling sexual at all or sexually aroused at all. Because that was a notification from my universe that, hey, you did the right thing not to act on this, and you are not crazy, and this person was in your field and you were probably on their mind, and I haven't seen this person in over a year. So that's how psychic we are, and these energies are going to enable us to become even more psychic. Now, what the human mind wants to do, what the third dimensional operating system, the third dimensional linear mind wants to do, is it wants to attach a face to what you're feeling. But what you're feeling is part and parcel of an older story, and that story ended. So the guys are saying now, don't reopen that can. Don't revisit that story. Instead, know that there's a new chapter that's on the horizon for you, and all you have to do is wait it out, sit it out, and work in concert with your higher self to further integrate these higher energies. These higher energies, though, are gonna call to the surface older energies. Anything that's been stuck in your lower chakra system at the base of your spine. So yes, if the energy gets stuck there, you might feel sexually aroused. You might feel that way. So this is where it gets a little more interesting, okay? I said to them, well, what if I had acted on it? What if I had picked up my phone and texted this person? They said you would not have landed on the same timeline. I'm going to repeat that. They said you would not have landed on the same timeline. We wouldn't have been able to confirm you and affirm you. You wouldn't have bumped into this person. You would have probably met up with this person, right? And get your rocks off. You probably would have met up with this person. And as you went to meet them, you would have missed this other person that's trying to meet you, which is a metaphor. You get the metaphor. So even though I haven't met my person, by opening up that timeline again and revisiting an old story, I would have kind of I would have made a sharp turn to the right instead of receiving the upgrade and holding out for something better. Thank you, Golrays, for your donation. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone right now. And if I don't say thank you every time, know that I look at the name and I'll send you love and light. So what they said was, you did the right thing because now you understand how precise this is, how detailed this is. And you guys, LA is a huge city. You don't just bump into people. You don't just bump into people. And of all the people I've ever been attracted to, I kept thinking about this person. And that's who I bumped into. So they were showing me that if you open the lid and you give into or you indulge in your desire, which is a carnal desire, don't punish yourself, but know that you're opening up a timeline possibility that might take you away from this higher possibility. Is this making sense, you guys? Okay, cool. Now, the other thing I want to impress upon you is that the upgrade may have nothing to do with love. All right. So we want to keep an open mind, but there is an energetic upgrade that is happening. Your website is under construction right now. So there's a lot taking place. You're being reinvented, you're regrouping, you're being vibrated into a higher level, transported into a new dimensional reality. And all of this, because everything starts non-physically and eventually manifests physically, all of this is going to start unraveling in your physical realm. In your physical realm. Thank you for the donation. I see you. So we don't want to get, this is the biggest pitfall for people. They say, oh my God, Phil said that love is about to arrive. Yes, I'm sensing, and I'm not crazy because obviously I've been on point the last few days. For most of you, it's going to be love. But remember, you don't want to pop out of the timeline, of that highest timeline, by getting too fixated on love. That's where we need delicate balance in life. We need that delicate balance of, I'm excited, woo, right? You open up a portal when you're excited, you're opening up a portal, but let me stay focused on the goal. Let me keep my eyes on my higher self, which is outside of time, outside of space, outside of physicality, and be open to all possibilities. But there is undoubtedly a upgrade that's taking place right now. There's an inpouring of galactic frequencies, of higher energies that are coming in to assist you and catapult you into this next stage of your life. So I hope that helps you guys. If you have any questions that are related to this energy update, let me know and I'll answer them. And if not, I'll just close here. And this is something else I want to stress. Most of our traumas in life, in past lives, in concurrent lives, in future lives, most of our traumas are usually held within the lower chakra system. So a lot of what we're doing now through this ascending construct is we're folding the 3 lower chakras into the heart. So how I view it is like the heart is going to become the first chakra. Okay, so all of that trapped emotion, all of these repressed emotions that have been with us for a really long time, they're all being cleaned up. Okay, it's like a spiritual detoxification process. They're all being cleared up, and you're evolving your lower 3 chakras into the 4th, which is the heart. It's that heart coherent energy of unity, of self-love. And then I see that the heart chakra is going to become the primary chakra alongside the throat, so healthy communication, intuition, and connection to our guides. That's how I regard it. But evidently, there's going to be a massive purge that takes place within the lower chakras. So one little hack for you guys, is if you feel that tidal wave of energy rolling over you and you're like, my God, I can't shake this energy. It's too sexual. Instead, reframe it to, I'm so blessed. I'm receiving an upgrade right now. And all I need to do is connect to my breath, open up, expand your diaphragm. That helps a lot because it allows like an opening to happen for that energy to then travel upward into your heart or into your third eye, whatever you please, whatever you see fit. So you're receiving an upgrade, right? But a lot of us, we tend to tumble because we take the bait of, oh, I'm supposed to reach out to this person. We attach our emotions to past stories, to old narratives, when in actuality, those energies are just trying to teach you a new way of being, a new way of existing. Okay? They're enabling you to vibrate yourself into that fifth dimensional construct that goes beyond just your physical carnal desire. Your 5D identity, your fifth dimensional identity, is cheering you on because it wants what you want. So if you want that undeniable connection with someone, that electricity, that twin flame connection, your higher self wants that too. But as you're moving up, it's like an escalator, if you will. As you're moving up, of course, your old beliefs are going to start to creep up and creep in. And then you might associate that to a person or to a place. It can be a place. Oh, I miss this place. I want to go back home, or I want to go travel again. No, hold out. Right? Hold fast, like be steadfast. And know that there's something that your linear mind can't conceive of, that your higher self already knows as being your highest outcome. It's your highest outcome. By the way, I'm just so pleased. I see that there's 835 people on here. Wow. This is amazing. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I told you guys I'm doing these off the cuff now. They're spontaneous lives. So you may want to subscribe. You may want to subscribe. If it's real love, it'll still be there. Well, everything is here, right? So, of course, love will still be there, just like your highest potentiality is already here. But are you making choices to align yourself to those potentialities? So, of course, your wow, thank you for the $99 donation, the 2222. I love you guys. Thank you. All possibilities exist within this now. All possibilities. So there's an infinite field of probabilities that are brewing in your field right now. But the one thing that doesn't change is that it's up to you. You have a free will to decide, am I going to line up to this now and choose the highest outcome, or am I going to postpone it? You see? Because had I acted on that text message, on that carnal desire, I would have probably spent my nights with this person or whatever, and then I might miss whoever's trying to enter right now. You get it? So it's about your choices. And I want to reinforce this, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Your free will is what dictates your outcomes. If I go out there tonight and I shoot somebody, I'm going to end up in jail. So yes, of course, love will still be there, but I'm going to have to love myself in a prison cell. You see? Because your choices determine the outcome. So how soon do you want to reach the top of that mountain? Even though that's a metaphor, because you're already loved. You're already a multidimensional being. But again, the suffering usually dwells within those lower octaves, and the joy and the peace and the harmony and the love usually dwells within the higher bandwidths. And it is through your free choice that you're able to spiral yourself up into those higher bandwidths of frequency. I hope that makes sense. So of course, love will still be there if you slip and make a mistake, even though it's not a mistake. That's my point. It's just, do you want it now? Do you want it within this time frame? Do you want it within this lifetime? Because your lessons are not in a rush. The question is, how soon do you want to experience that delight, that joy, that greatness? How soon do you want that? And at the end of the day, that's up to you. And again, there's no faulting anyone. You're never judged. You're never punished. You're never, why did you do that? God will never wave a wand. Source will never wave a wand and be like, you're punished. You're reincarnating. You get to decide if you reincarnate. But I've seen and I've witnessed miracles in my life when I don't allow those energies to hook me in. And then get pulled into a scenario that my higher self didn't necessarily want me to be a part of. Well, you've been there before. Why would you revisit it? You're on an upward climb. So if it's an old story, it's that story closed for a reason. I always say you can't put toothpaste back into a tube, right? You can't put toothpaste back into a tube. It's done. That story closed out. And a lot of times we doubt ourselves. I almost doubted myself. I almost said, well, I don't know. I think this is just, it's my ego that doesn't want to reach out. I should just reach out. But I knew my higher self said to me, I instinctively felt, no, Phil, don't do it. And there it was. My confirmation was right there in front of me. Literally. Tangible proof. And I've witnessed so many miracles in my life when I choose that higher road. So many. Because think about it. How can you enhance your extrasensory perception if you're always acting on your five senses? Yes? You have to nourish that sixth sense. You have to nourish that inner sense. It's an inner vision. Oh, I'm not crazy. I'm receiving these different downloads, and I'm going to start trusting them and believing in them and removing all my doubt. And then you become more and more and more psychic. And then you get to have the control panel. You're the control panel. You get to decide what you want your life to look like. You're not governed by your five senses. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we reach transcendence. We transcend the lower realms by believing the unseen, by believing these different instructions that we receive from our inner guidance system. We have to remove the doubt because so many of us are like, we're like a fish, and we go. Yes? This is why it is imperative that we become discernful, that we use this technology, that we utilize this incredible technology that was bestowed upon us by God, by Source. I got this download the other day when I was connecting with Saint Germain, and what he said to me was, we placed your pineal gland as a means to reconnect to us because we knew that it would be difficult for you to do so in this density. So we placed within you this pineal gland, this technology, which is like a Bluetooth to the higher realms, to allow you to reconnect to your original self. Your original self is your higher self. I just like calling it your original self because I see it as your point of origin, which is Source, your original self. It's your original self. Because your origin is that you are Source. You come from Source. So you're already an omniscient being, which means that you're already an all-knowing being. But the five senses and these restrictions that are placed upon us in this realm, they cause us to forget. There's a veiling. It's a veil of forgetfulness. So the pineal gland, in conjunction with your heart, were strategically placed there to help you reconnect to all that you are, to your spiritual team, to the ascended masters, to the celestial realm, to your angels. It was strategically placed there for you to activate and then follow these directives that we can't always see, but we have to trust in them because they want what we want. Your guides want what you want. If you want love, there's no objection there. All right? There isn't a judge going, I object. No, your guides want that for you. So that was my message tonight. And 924 people, you guys. I'm mind blown right now. I'm so grateful to all of you. This is my second live on YouTube, and I'm so pleased with the outcome. And I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings. Thank you for showing up on this magical carpet ride like Aladdin and to moving upward and onward. And that's what we're here to do. We're moving onward and upward, and we're all in this together. We're assisting each other as a collective, as these magnificent beings of love and light that we are. as these universal beings of love and light that we are. We are doing this together. So pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the temptations that you have, because when you decide to transcend them, you're giving all of us a boost. All of us. All of us. So I'm sending you guys infinite love, infinite light, infinite blessings, and I'll see you guys soon.